Oh, hey, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, depending on which part of this beautiful country that you're in. I say beautiful, aesthetically pleasing in some parts of the country, but we're just beleaguered. We're tired. We're just tired. You're watching Rebel Roundup. I'm your host, Sheila Gunn Reid. This is our Rebel News daily news and opinion show, and I'm joined by my real life best friend from Regina, Saskatchewan, fresh off a 3-day visit with me as we had a family function at my house, and I can tell that Lise Merle is celebrating Pride season. How you doing?
Hello, Canada, and hello, Sheila Gunn Reid. I've waited my whole life for this specific Pride season. As you know, we have this little book here, Buck the Rainbow Unicorn. I want him to be the most popular book this specific Pride season. So I just can't wait for the entire month of June to be high energy, colorful, and with packed with amazing conversations. There's the book, bucktherainbowunicorn.com. You can get your copy there. And to every child between the ages of, say, 2 and 102 needs this book this Pride season. So I'm delighted to be here, Sheila Gunn Reid, as always.
Yes. If you want to wrap your little ones in your life in the armor of self-defense against the fire hose of rainbow LGBTQQ plus AI nonsense blasted at them on the television, in their classrooms, and on the streets, and in every retail outlet across the country, I recommend you get yourself Buck the Rainbow Unicorn from bucktherainbowunicorn.com. It's the best-selling children's book that Lise wrote, and she's an acclaimed LGBTQ plus AI children's author because the rainbow people bought it without realizing the real lesson it told. And the real lesson is that your parents know you best. Don't listen to the teachers and the infected cultural institutions trying to tell you otherwise.
That's exactly right. It's an inoculation against craziness. And I can't tell you how delighted I am that kids are being exposed to the truth again with this
Yeah.
delightful little book. And did the activists ever accidentally expose their children to wholesome good ideas? Did they ever?
Yep.
We couldn't be prouder of this little book, and it is the season to celebrate it. So hang on, Canada. We are just going to be celebrating Pride season all month long together, and it's going to be a good time. So
Yes. I would love to see that book creep right back up to the best-selling charts this season.
I'm going to try my best, guys.
Let's see what
I'm
we
going
can
to
do
try
about
my
it, guys.
best. Mhm.
All right. Let's tell everybody how they can get involved in the show, and then we'll get right into Mark Carney being the grown-up banker in the room, scuttling away when mainstream media journalists accidentally asked him a good question. The whole episode shocked everybody, including me. But if you're watching us on Rumble, great free speech platform, you want to get involved in the show, have your say, but help us out too. Leave a Rumble rant if it's over the $5 US cutoff. We're reading it on air. If it's under that, we'll do our very best, time permitting. I've got like a super hard out, might even be a little bit of an early out. We'll see how that goes. So get your chats in early. If you're watching us on YouTube, same rules apply. YouTube's paid chat is called a super chat. There's also an additional way that you can support us. Say you missed the live version of the show, but you got yourself some FOMO, some fear of missing out, and you want to help us out, you can leave a paid comment called a super thanks. And we do this because we'll never take a penny from the government. How could we, and how dare we? So that's it. Let's
Already got one, Sheila Gunn Reid, from William
oh,
Roble, 6626. He says, "Howdy, ladies, from rural West Texas." And yes, I find you wonderfully offensive. Bill, get in here, buddy. Thank you for being here, and thanks for that chat.
I've always said that if I had to relocate to anywhere in the world and I needed to slide in and hit the ground running, like where there would be no culture shock, I would just look around and say, I know lots about everything going on here. It would be rural West Texas, 100%.
Really?
With the oil and gas sector, ranching, the politics, I would just strut right in
Oh.
in my same cowboy boots and be perfectly fine.
They are the world's nicest people from West
Yes.
Texas. One time I met a couple in a hotel hot tub, okay, from West Texas. And I swear to God, this is true. My mom had just died. It was the first Christmas I didn't have my mom, and I was just in a state. Okay, I could not pull off Christmas. I couldn't even think about it. And I met this lovely couple from West Texas. Their last name was Carter. Okay, I just remember this so well. I was such a mess, and they sort of were so sweet and kind. And Christmas morning, they dropped off an entire Christmas baking spread for our kids in the hotel because I
Aw.
was just sort of bereft and emotional, and I just couldn't that Christmas. So Christmas was saved by the Carters of West Texas, and I'll never forget it. So hi, William Rebel. Thanks so much for
Hi,
checking in.
all of West Texas.
Hello to all of West Texas. Yeah, Texas all together. Okay, we're not
Yeah.
just limiting it to West Texas, but West Texas is pretty
Yeah.
rad.
The topography might be difficult for me to adjust to being here where the grasslands crash into the boreal, but I'd get over it if I
It's
had to
fine.
relocate. It's fine.
It's fine. We'd work
I
through it.
Yeah, I'm resilient like that. Okay, let's get into this first video. Mark Carney running away from a reporter. I think this is Laura Stone who asked the question. I know. As shocked as I am. And she asks about Canada being the only country in the G7 in a recession.
Oh.
Look at his serious bankster style answer.
Prime Minister, can you?
Thank you again for
Prime,
coming. Thank you.
Prime Minister, can you comment on the claims about a recession
I think the
and the economy, sir?
I think the okay, that
Wow.
was quite something because he thought, oh, there's Laura Stone. She's going to ask me a softball. She's going to pitch it right over the plate at me. And then she asked a tough question, and he's like, I think and he couldn't even finish the sentence enough to come up with an excuse to leave.
This is actually embarrassing for the former governor of the Bank of England and the former governor of the Bank of Canada. This is arguably embarrassing that he didn't have a single sentence for her for that question, defending his own government. But then, of course, how could you defend his government? We are in a recession.
Yeah, like he saw Laura Stone and he's like, oh, there's a safe one. Like, that's not True North. That's not Rebel News. That's not even the National Post. I'll just walk over there and see how it goes. She asked him a question and he just spit out a sentence fragment.
Interesting. Where does Laura Stone work? I'm not familiar
I
with
forget.
her work. Can we click on her?
Hill Times. Is she Hill Times?
Can we click on? Oh, there we go. Globe
Globe
and
and
Mail.
Mail. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good job, Laura Stone. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of this. I'd like to see more of this in the world. Good job, girlfriend.
Yep.
Props
You're
where
gonna
props are due.
you're gonna have the Heritage Minister threatening your bailout money, though, thanks to that. So
Your
just let everybody in the newsroom know.
Your editorial board is going to be quite upset, but they'll get over it. The truth always
Yes.
comes out in the end, and you asked it first. So credit where credit is due, Laura. Well done.
Yeah, and now we've got the Prime Minister's prepared remarks on the Canadian economy, you know, when he isn't forced to answer a question about the thing that he's actually supposed to know something about. Like, he was a banker, he's supposed to know about
expert.
recessions. Like, if you came up to me and you wanted to talk about hay, I could talk all day long about hay. You wanted to talk about firearms, I'm here for, like, I could just, because it's a
Same.
thing that interests me,
Same.
right?
Yeah.
But you makeup, you could talk about makeup all day long.
Oh, making sandwiches. Like, let's go. Let's go any minute of any day. Yes.
Using the Instant Pot. You know what? I could give a seminar on using the Instant Pot. He is supposed to be like me, using the Instant Pot or making sourdough. Like, this is a thing he's supposed to know lots about. You want to talk to me about pickles? You could ask me any random question about pickles. I'm an expert on pickles. If I were elected to hold high office based on my pickle expertise, I could take any question thrown at me. He was elected to high office based on his knowledge of the economy and handling recessions, and he managed a sentence fragment.
His impeccable qualifications is what we were told. His can't do better than this guy. So bright, son of a teacher, gets the PhD from Oxford or Harvard or wherever he was. I forget right now which one. It was both, I think, a little bit. But this should be an easy question to answer, and he didn't have a moment for it. telling. It's telling. But then again, it's indefensible. It's indefensible.
Right.
What he's doing isn't working, and our economy is proving it.
Right. I'm not sure what he is doing though that isn't working. Like I feel like he's doing nothing and he's like, we've tried absolutely nothing and nothing is working. What are we going to do?
So weird. We've been going around the world taking selfies, and that doesn't seem to be doing it, but we're just going to continue doing that and hoping that it'll kick in soon.
Yep.
You guys, we're in real trouble here.
Big trouble. Here's his prepared remarks about the government's being in the process of laying the foundations for a stronger, more resilient, more independent Canadian economy. Okay, where?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're in the process, this government's been in the process of laying the foundations for a stronger, more resilient, more independent Canadian economy. That process is settling in during that time as we make major investments, major changes to how the government operates, how we do major projects, how we have new trade agreements with other countries. It's always difficult. I should always remember to go up the stairs more slowly or get in better shape. As we do all that, the data is going to be uneven. And, you know, we see some weakness, in part because of clear decisions by the government. So we have taken back control of immigration. That's meant the population growth has flattened. In fact, it's slowed, or it's been negative for the last 2 quarters. We have reined in government spending. So it had been growing close to 10%. It's growing less than 2% now. So that's also something that weighs on. There's some other choppiness in terms of how investment is happening. But we're also seeing at the same time the foundations coming into place, settling in for that stronger, more resilient economy. So for example, if you look at business investment, particularly in machinery and equipment, in R&D, in intellectual property, that's actually up quite sharply in the last couple of quarters, including the most recent quarter. If you look at household incomes, they are now growing strongly. They continue to grow faster than the rate of inflation. There's more to be done without question, but they're moving in the right direction. So you have these cross currents as the economy is being fundamentally transformed. We're going to continue to work. We're making progress, but there's more to be done.
Où est-ce que ça bloque avec Washington?
Okay, that's in French. What on earth is he talking about? It's settling in.
Well, and yeah, Sheila, I fixated on that too, in the process of laying foundations. So typically, when you're laying foundations, you've dug a hole in the ground. Okay,
Right.
to lay it, that's what makes it the foundation. So is Mark Carney accidentally admitting to us, Canada, that he's dug a hole, that we are in a hole? I would argue he just said that. And if you check your bank account right now, I think it proves it. The only people that are doing better under Mark Carney are Liberal insiders, not you, Canada. For you, he dug a hole.
Well, and did you notice that he's blaming the immigration, like that Canadians are against immigration for the lack of economic growth?
Wild.
So we are importing largely a lot of the third world, or at least the developing world. A lot of temporary foreign workers from the Indian subcontinent are coming to Canada temporarily and then staying. Temporary foreign students, also from many of the same places, coming temporarily and then staying, claiming asylum from the world's largest democracy, India. And then they are putting pressure on housing, on
public infrastructure, healthcare, anything,
roads, anything where more people causes more problems. That's happening. And he's saying, well, we need more people, more low-skilled workers. That'll grow the economy. Meantime, kids aged 15 to 19 have a 20% unemployment rate.
Well, and he talks about household income leaping up. That's because you are paying those households, sir. The regular households that are working for a paycheck every week are not doing better. New immigrants to Canada that are getting, you know, minimum $80,000 a year, they're the ones that are doing. Yeah, I see how you could claim that household incomes are going up when you're literally paying millions of people to be here.
Yes.
Artificially inflating those household income numbers.
Yes. we've got a video titled Media Protection Program in Real Time. Do you think Canadians, they're asking Polyev this. Do you think Canadians blame Mark Carney, or do you think they blame Mr. Trump for the recession? I don't know. We're the only one in the G7 in a recession. So who do you think is the problem?
Do you think Canadians blame Mark Carney, or do you think they blame Mr. Trump for that recession?
You mean the fact that we're the only country in the G7 that's in a recession?
Yes.
Right. So
it seems like Canadians are laying blame for their economic troubles with Mr. Trump, but you don't agree with that.
Well, maybe you are. Maybe you are protecting Mr. Carney from his economic record, but here's the reality. Mr. Trump's policies are affecting all G7 countries, and none of them are in recession. Mexico shares a border with the United States. Mexico is not in recession. Only Canada, under Mark Carney's liberal policies, is in a recession. France is not in a recession. UK is not in a recession. Germany's not in a recession. Italy's not in a recession. Japan's not in a recession. Only Canada among G7 countries is in a recession. And only Canada among North American countries is in a recession. So it seems that the other countries, despite Mr. Trump's unfair tariffs, have been able to craft policies to avoid recession. It's only here under Mark Carney's policies that we find ourselves in a recession.
I think that was Mariki Walsh, or however you say her name, who asked the question. I forget who she works for, and it really doesn't matter. It's another, taxpayer-funded outlet. But yeah, like, we're the only one in the G7 in a recession. Trump is leveling his policies on everybody. The other countries have figured out a way to come to the table to deal with Trump while also having internal policies to mitigate the damage, including trade corridors amongst their different regions, which we don't have. So the question remains, why are we the only one in the G7 in a recession? I can list you 5 examples, but apparently the mainstream media can't come up with a single one except Orange Man Bad.
Well, they're defaulting to the argument that won them the election a year ago, but we're in a much, much different place, because certainly after one calendar year of Mark Carney's brilliant nature at the helm of the Liberal Party of Canada, we should be in a much, much better position than we were when Trudeau left office. But it turns out Mark Carney is worse than Trudeau in a multitude of ways. Not only is he as woke and as broken, but he's arguably a worse manager of Canada's economy. Than Justin Trudeau. Just listen, Justin Trudeau was problematic for a multitude of reasons, but Mark Carney is worse on an economic front, and that's just the long and short of it.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead to this next one. Doug Ford being Doug Ford again. So he says, he's responding to, I believe it's a post from Pete Hoekstra, who jokingly, nobody actually takes this stuff seriously except Doug Ford, because he has to campaign on it. Donald Trump joking that, we'll be the 51st state. Why? Because we've dipped into a recession for the first time since 2020. Again, the only country in the G7. And then Doug Ford comes out and says, I can't believe I have to say this again. So don't. No one cares. Why are you responding to just friendly trolling? This is what, by the way, this is why Donald Trump does this. To wind up people like Doug Ford and get his panties in a knot. He said, we'll never be the 51st state. Canada's not for sale. While I'm at it, here's the truth. In April, Ontario created 680% more jobs than the US adjusted for population. That's a weird statistic. I'll tell you a few that matter. That's how we protect Ontario. Okay, Doug. April's unemployment rate in Ontario was 7.5%, and Ontario recorded the highest youth unemployment rate in the country with 17.7% for job seekers. I think that's age 15 to 25. So things are not good there, Doug. And I forget, I brought it up yesterday, the US unemployment rate. I think it is like at 4, adjusted to 4. So that's basically on the cusp of overemployment. That's how well things are going there. So Doug can, like he can pull out the one statistic he thinks he has, but the overall economic outlook for Ontario workers is not great, and maybe he should zip it.
Yeah, maybe he should. I mean, the way he says Canada is not for sale, Canada is not for sale, it sounds like a Tourette's tick that he's got stuck on, when in fact, everything in Canada is for sale. Pete Hoekstra, lean in here. Let me tell you something. Everything on Canadian land is for sale, whether it be Doug's auto products, whether it be Doug's aluminum, whether it be Doug's steel products. In Saskatchewan, this would be uranium, ag products, mining products. Everything in Canada is for sale to the United States. And Doug Ford, the premier of the biggest province, doesn't seem to know that. It's embarrassing, really.
Unemployment rate in the United States for adults 20 years and older is 3.9%.
So everybody's working. Everybody's hustling in the
working.
United States.
If you want
Whereas-
a job, you got it in the United States.
Incredible. It's an incredible place for people with ambition. The problem with Doug Ford and really everything east of Manitoba is they're a can't do mentality. Everybody west of Manitoba, including Saskatchewan and west of Saskatchewan, are a can do mentality. So just in case the Americans are considering which provinces they would want to incorporate into the United States, it's definitely not Doug's. Okay, it's he's not interested in you, Doug. They don't
All
want
Doug
you,
Ford
Doug.
does is act as a trade irritant. That's all he is.
Yeah, bad Doug.
That's on the bad Doug list. It's on the bad Doug list. Also, he gave his pride wishes yesterday, which was also on the bad Doug list. Like, I called him Fat Trudeau. Like
it's so embarrassing.
It is.
It's such a tell. And of course, Doug Ford is virtue signaling this way. Of course it is. But you know what? We're happy to shine a light on it and tell the Canadian public exactly which public institutions and elected officials participate in this baloney. And there's that, like, look at this. My God, look at that smile. Just he looks like a gay pro wrestler. Doug wins the gayest of gay awards. Okay, the Gigi Awards. We're gonna make him up on the spot, Canada.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send
like
Doug a trophy.
Gold dust without his makeup.
Yeah,
that's who he looks like.
The gayest gay awards, the Gigi Awards.
Yeah.
Doug Ford is winning one.
June, where everybody tries to out-gay each other for the entire month. And I'm like, why can't we just be normal? And why am I supposed to care what you do in your private time? I just don't care. I just don't care.
Some premiers aren't touching this with a 10-foot pole. And we're going to create lists. We're going to have like a, we're going to have like a worst offenders list. And Doug's going to be right at the top of it, but we're going to do this for public institutions. We're going to do this for anybody publicly funded. We're going to do this for everybody that's been elected in Canada, okay? If you participate in this and you are institutionally captured this way, the public needs to know about it because then they get to decide to support you next time or not. Doug?
Okay, let's move ahead to the Anti-Semitism Council that was announced by Mark Carney yesterday at a synagogue where they didn't let anybody go to, including, I think, attendees of the synagogue. They just took over the synagogue as a backdrop. And so Mark Carney says the covenant between Canadians is broken when people are targeted for their faith, origin, or identity. Yes, thank you. Catholics knew this since the church burning started. Yes. It's also been happening to the Jews on the streets of Canadian cities, most notably Toronto, but Montreal is real bad too. Let's hear what Mark Carney's going to do about it. Like the Liberals just got here on a spaceship or something and haven't been in charge for the last 11 years.
The covenant runs in every direction. Anti-Semitism breaks it. Islamophobia breaks it. Burning churches breaks it. Transphobia breaks it. The targeting of any Canadian for their faith, their origin, their identity breaks it.
Okay. But
well, I
you
identify
guys
as a
have-
Westerner, and you broke it a long time ago, Ottawa. So yeah, same.
I like how he put burning churches after Islamophobia on his list of bad
And
things.
then tacked on
was like,
transphobia.
well, I'll throw something. I'll throw in transphobia. I'll throw something at those people too. You guys have
Unreal.
overseen this, liberals. Again, why do we trust you to fix it? You have existing laws and tools. You're not doing anything with them. Instead, you have plans to censor my parish
Right.
priest.
That's right.
That's your solution to this, is to enact more rules to reach deeper into our churches, treat our pastors as though they're hate criminals instead of dealing with the Hamas radicals running amok on the streets with calls to genocide. There are already laws that you can enforce, and you're not. In fact, you've decided that you need to import more of these people into the country.
That's right. And don't you dare say anything about the Tumbler Ridge shooter. Don't you dare. Don't you
Right.
dare. You guys, don't bring it up. Don't bring up all those bad stats. Don't bring up all of that common sense thought that you think about those issues, because that's all forbidden in Canada. Remember that.
Yep.
This is craziness. This is actual craziness. And you wonder why people look at the United States and their freedom and just crave that. You know how awesome it would be to just be able to speak your truth in Canada without the threat of the government, like literally throwing you in jail? Like, we've lost so much to these losers already, and still they want more. Still they want more. Unreal.
Carney's Advisory Council on Rights, Equality, and Inclusion specifically announced at a synagogue to deal with anti-Semitism includes 2 anti-Semites. Former Liberal MP Omar Al-Jabra, who once lobbied the government to not have Hamas labeled as a terrorist entity.
Oh my God.
And then the other one is the lawyer who tried to get an injunction to stop the removal of the Hamas-adjacent pro-Palestinian hobo squat at the University of Alberta.
Oh.
That person. They are sitting on the advisory council to stop anti-Semitism. Jews of Canada, I bet you feel safer already.
Go ahead.
Let's listen to Carney's announcement.
I'm pleased to announce today the launch and the membership of Canada's new Ministerial Advisory Council on Rights, Equality and Inclusion. It will be chaired by the Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture, Mark Miller. The Council has a clear mission to combat racism and hate in all their forms, and to guide the Government of Canada as part of our efforts to build a fairer, more just, more inclusive society. I'm honored to announce that Senator Mark Gould, one of Canada's most collaborative, effective, principled voices on the scourge of anti-Semitism, has agreed to join that council. And I am directing that the first responsibility of that council is to address anti-Semitism from 4 different directions. First, the council will assess the nature, the scale, and the drivers of anti-Semitism in Canada, including across our public institutions, our workplaces, our campuses, our public services, our professional bodies, our online spaces. Because these are the places where the habits of civic life are formed, and where if those habits fracture quickly spreads. Secondly, the Council will coordinate a whole-of-government approach to anti-Semitism, because combating anti-Semitism is the responsibility we all share. It will ensure that federal workplaces, federal policies, federal public safety programs, and community initiatives are aligned in protecting Jewish Canadians, confronting hate, and promoting inclusion. Third, the Council will improve research in the collection of data on hate incidents. It will build stronger data sharing systems, so all orders of government, all police services are working from the same facts and with the same alignment. And finally, the Council will measure clearly the impact of our efforts so that we can reinforce investments in education, in prevention, training, and community safety. Those particular investments that are actually delivering real
That's
results.
We know who the anti-Semites are. They're marching in the streets every single week. Just go do something about them.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's announcing more censorship. He's re-announcing Statistics Canada, I believe, when he's like, we're going to track this stuff. Like, yeah, StatsCan does that. That's how we know it's bad.
Yeah.
And then they're going to measure their own work to tell us what a good job they're doing. Oh,
Well,
that's wonderful.
This is how the propaganda loop works. This is how the propaganda loop works. We are going to find the experts that are going to research the thing we need them to say, and then they're going to say it to us, and then we're going to regulate you guys. Okay? We're going to police you guys so that everything you say is subject, right? So everything you say is subject to scrutiny, but we're going to find ourselves innocent. This is what's happening. Like, this is how you manufacture propaganda right here, guys. And all of government approach. That's through every public institution, every police force, and they're taking the guidance of the enemy on this. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
And, not even dealing with the fact that we're importing people from culturally incompatible parts of the world where they are taught in their UN-run schools to hate Jews. And he's like, we need to take more of those people.
They literally teach their school children to chant death to America, death to Israel, death to Canada. That is what they teach their children in school. And then we're bringing them here and we think that they're going to do good work on behalf of our society.
Okay. I mean, and while he's taking a whole of government approach, I hope he runs in front of a mirror and looks at himself, because Mark Carney declared Canadian recognition of a Palestinian state, a terror state run by a terrorist organization that refuses to have elections, that was part of the October 7th attacks. He declared that the Canadian government would recognize a Palestinian state with no caveats whatsoever.
Just arbitrarily announced.
After they committed the Israeli version of 9/11. Imagine what that message that was sent to not just Canada's Jewish community, but to the bad guys here in Canada.
Well, sure. Like when he said Muslim values are Canadian values.
Right.
Sir, you don't seem to be aware that Canada was founded on Christian values, Judeo-Christian values, as it turned out. And so what do you think that says to Canadians writ large?
Yeah.
What do you think that says to Canadians writ large?
Well, and how about all the public sector unions, Fred Hahn?
Oh my God.
And their pernicious infection with anti-Semitism, to the point where unionized workers who don't have a choice but to join the union, by the way, like we don't have right to work legislation in this country, and we should, because unionized workers who happen to be Jewish are forced to pay union dues into unions that are run by anti-Semites and then who take up anti-Semitic causes, and to the point where they are engaged in active litigation against their own unions. And these are public sector government unions. So you want to start with the whole of government approach? Don't start looking at C9 to censor the rest of us. You need to turn inward. And the biggest thing that they could do is to give people the right not to have to join those anti-Semitic unions.
If Pierre Poilievre would have won the last election, we would already probably be doing this.
Yep. But our votes don't count the same way as everybody else's in this country. One last thing on this, and then we'll hit an ad break. Minister Steve McKinnon is asked about what he believes is driving up anti-Semitism in Canada. And he went to the Mark Carney School of Thinking on Your Feet here, and he graduated with an advanced master's degree.
The topic of yesterday was anti-Semitism. What's driving anti-Semitism in Canada?
I'm not sure I thought enough about that this morning to speak on it. I thought this Prime Minister spoke very eloquently about it, and anti-Semitism is a scourge that we must always be vigilant and fight against.
Do you think Omar Al-Ghabra is qualified to deal with the issue?
Quelle est votre position? Est-ce que ça devrait être abrogé, oui ou non?
The topic yesterday was
that's
anti-Semitism.
enough. So we've got to stop anti-Semitism. Okay, so what do you think's causing it so we can deal with those causes? And he's like, I haven't thought about that. Maybe he's probably like, don't say us, don't say us, don't say us, don't say we did it.
What? I haven't thought about that this morning yet at this point. Like, oh, sir, that is your job to just have these things boiling at the top of your mind at all times. We shouldn't need 3 days written notice to ask you a question that's pertinent to all Canadians.
Right.
And yet here we have him just
Right.
blumbering away. Just like, the front bench of the whole Liberal caucus is quite something to behold, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
these are a bunch of buffoons leading a bunch of buffoons. That is what we see here. And nobody should be surprised that he had a non-answer.
Yeah, I always ask myself, how did Gary Anand Sangri end up at public safety? And then I look around and I'm like,
Oh,
well, because he might actually be the best they got, and he's an idiot.
Oh,
Like they're all
that's
like
saying
this.
something.
If somebody said, what's driving anti-Semitism in Canada? Immigration from undesirable places of the world, government policy,
Mhm.
the unions, academia, and I think overt anti-Americanism, because the Americans are so closely aligned with Israel. Israel, I think, is one of the most American countries in the entire world. I've been there a few times. It's the feeling I get, and so many people are dual citizens. And we hear from the mullahs. There's the great Satan and there's the little Satan, and people have bought into that in this country.
Just
But
wild.
I'm not Steve McKinnon, so I don't need to have those things at the top of my head. I just do because I think about things. Steve should try it.
Use it one time.
Yeah.
Best of luck, Steve.
Yeah.
Best of luck. We wish you well on your adventure.
Stuff your brain in gear when you're going to work,
Don't
Steve.
hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself, buddy. Okay, don't do all your thinking all at once.
Like, think about this for a second.
Ease
Steve is
into it a little bit. Ease
Steve's
into
at
it.
work. Like, he's literally at his workplace, at his building. Somebody's asking him about work, and he's like, I don't know. I don't think about work around here. Right on. Okay. Well, I guess you can get away with that.
That's what just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about work yet this morning.
And
Wow.
what do you want me to do?
Gee.
Think about work at work? Come back with a better question, young man.
Can you ask me about pride next time?
If you ask him about pride, he would have all kinds of questions, like me and Pickles, but he doesn't. He has no clue. All right, let's hit an ad break. We'll come back on the other side because we're going to talk about pride. We'll do Olivia Chow getting low, putting a shoulder roll into it. And Regina Public Schools. And then we've got Carolyn Finley smacking around the CBC right to their faces. And then I got a jet. So let's do an ad break. Come back on the other side.
Stay right there.
For generations, many Canadians have preserved more than just firearms. They've preserved history, tradition, competition, memories. But under Trudeau, and now Carney, heirlooms, estates, collectibles, and competition firearms now have to be surrendered and destroyed. While violent gun criminals get pass after pass, openly ignoring any legislation, lawful gun owners are trapped in an increasingly unfair legal system. But we can help. Canada's National Firearms Association's Save Firearms program offers the legal pathway to preserve what matters, while we work towards a political solution. Don't let yours be next. Save history. Save heritage. Save firearms. Visit nfa.ca today to learn more.
In Canada, firearms owners like me understand the importance of safe, effective self-defense options. That's why we're proud to have Byrna as a sponsor. Byrna's less lethal launchers are designed to help protect you and your family without taking a life. Byrna offers peace of mind, accessibility, and a practical layer of personal security for Canadians who value safety. Learn more at byrna.ca/rebel. That's BYRNA canada.ca/rebel.
Canada's been told to just quit smoking for decades, same message over and over, and yet millions of Canadians still smoke. So let's ask a follow-up question. For those who don't quit, what about change? In 2026, Canada has options that didn't exist years ago. Smoke-free alternatives for adults who would otherwise continue smoking. That doesn't mean risk-free, it means informed choice. If you don't smoke, don't start. If you smoke, quit. But for those who don't quit, change could still be part of the conversation. That's why Canadians should check out unsmoke.ca, an information resource focused on smoke-free alternatives and honest facts, not judgment. Put the lighter down, Canada. Learn what your options are.
Alrighty. Quickly, I just want to show this notice from a Tim Hortons. Where is this? In Toronto. Just so we can understand the full extent of the temporary foreign worker program as it unfolds in real time before our very eyes at one of the worst abusers of the temporary foreign worker program, Tim Hortons, who I believe right now has 90 plus ads out there for temporary foreign workers after they came out and said, you know, we're going to hire 10,000 Canadians. Oh, so you could have hired Canadians, I guess. Well, this is what's happening at a Tim Hortons. Our restaurant is temporarily closed due to the Sheila Dosage concert. Please visit the closest Tim Hortons located at 109 Mapleview Drive West. We apologize for any inconvenience. Okay, so just so you know, that's what we're dealing with. All right,
I'm guessing the Diljit is like an Indian performer then? Is that what we're assuming?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And they're just shutting down restaurants on account of cultural. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Thanks. But no, you guys aren't importing the third world and serving Canadians the third world in a cup. You're not.
Do you know who wouldn't take
the
Diljit Dosanjh concert off? Just Canadian kids.
That's if you were staffed with Canadian kids, they wouldn't even know that there was a Diljit concert on at all.
Right. You might have to lose a few to a Lainey Wilson concert now and then, but that's it.
Like if Raffi came to town, could just throw back to our childhoods, some Sharon Lewis and Bram action.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jelly Roll rolls into town. Sure. A couple of kids are going to take it off, but you're not shutting down the whole restaurant.
On account of one guy. Okay.
Okay. I'll let you go through this. Regina Public Schools. It's Gender and Sexual Diversity Pride Month. It's a time to celebrate acceptance, human rights, and diversity. This is Regina Public Schools. Again, stop it, public schools.
Yeah, can we read their post? Can we read their post, Olivia?
Yes.
Can you click on their
These
post?
celebrations are important because they recognize the achievements and ongoing struggles. Oh, there's the P in there now. 2SLGBTQAIP+? What's the P?
I'll give you one guess. Canada, put it in the comments. What does the P stand for in the acronym? What does the P stand for, guys? What does it stand? I'll give you best guess a prize. I'll send you a copy of my book if you can guess what the P stands for. Probably, we know we're all guessing what it stands for. But yeah, these guys. So in Regina Public Schools, it's important that we demonstrate our shared values, including values of belonging and respect. This year's, so then they go on to do a full press collab with Regina's Queen City Pride Festival. This is our gay parade from June 5th to the 13th with a parade on Saturday, June 13th at noon. Regina Public Schools will have a walking group in this year's parade and everybody is welcome. So guess who's going if she's in the city? Guess who's going? Guess who's going?
Now you have the map,
guys. That's exactly right. Scroll down, Olivia. Let's look to see what they. So anyway, there's extensive planning that's gone into this entire thing. And again, what I'm most excited about this Pride season in particular is we are going to shine a big bright light on all of the publicly funded institutions that take part in this. By the way, Regina Public Schools recently eviscerated their school band program. This program served budding young musicians for 40 years in Regina Public Schools. And this herd of financially illiterate morons at Regina Public Schools couldn't find a way to pay for the band program, but yet DEI initiatives. Well, here is your red carpet, everybody. Check in, come to the parade. We're going to be there. We're invested. We're spending all the money. Meanwhile, they can't describe how they can't afford the band instruments and band teachers, but they can do this. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, Regina Public Schools continues to be one of the worst school divisions in the nation. We actually have a petition to fire the school board. Okay, you can go to firetheschoolboard.com and sign our petition today, because these woke lunatics just need to be stopped once and for all. Thanks for letting me talk about it.
I'm going to save the Olivia Chow video for the cringe, because
Okay.
she is a cringe repeat offender. She should be dubbed a cringe dangerous offender with her many, many offenses that she's accumulated over the years, from her introduction of a bathroom that one time. Like, we were reopening the bathrooms in the parks, and then she does a big video. She loves to dance, but no one's ever told her she's not good at it. Olivia Chow dances like nobody's watching, but everybody's always watching. Olivia, we're always watching. You have to stop. So I'm going to say that for the cringe. But first, I want to watch this video of newly elected BC Conservative leader Carolyn Finley, who was in Stephen Harper's cabinet. She's great. And she was not the establishment Conservative candidate. There are many reasons to like her, but because she beat the establishment safe Conservative, you got to love her more. She's, you know, anti-DEI, anti-woke, pro-oil and gas,
Interesting.
anti-land acknowledgement.
Interesting little aside, she was the first candidate that said that she was going to stop child transitions and stop SOGI in schools in British Columbia, and she took it. So that tells us something. Yeah. Whoever is first and loudest is to say they're going to stop this in Canada is the person that wins on the Conservative side. And so couldn't be happier for the people of British Columbia. I have 2 kids there in British Columbia. Couldn't be happier for the people of BC to get her. So
real exciting for Saskatchewan and Alberta too.
Oh, I have a lifelong dream of having 3 wild Western women leading the West. And we just got sort of one step closer with Carolyn Finley, because if she can pull off the premiership of British Columbia, well, then we got Danielle Smith in Alberta and Carolyn Finley in British Columbia. And then who will it be in Saskatchewan? That is the question.
Let's watch CBC's attack interview on her, and she just turns it on them right away. And I love this. She's going to be called Trumpian by the end of the week.
It's okay. We'll get over it.
Fine. I'm here for it.
I want to give you a chance to respond to what the NDP put out quickly after your win. A press release came out saying Carolyn Finley and her supporters in caucus have more in common with Donald Trump's Republicans than they do with Canadian Conservatives. And they called you the most extreme and divisive leader of a major political party in BC history. How do you respond to that?
I respond to that I think the person who put that out was Ravi Callan, who wants David Eby's job, and he's trying to position himself for a leadership bid for the NDP. And we are not the extremists. They are the extremists. They're ideological extremists, and they have had very radical policies that have hurt British Columbia, in my view. It is just silly to compare any Canadian politician to Americans, because we have a completely different system, and it is not the way we operate here in Canada. This is just a form of propaganda, and of course they want to take a shot at me right away because I am now their opposition, and I'm the one they're going to be aiming at. But there's plenty for me to say.
You don't see your type of populism as reminiscent of Donald Trump's populism?
Not at all. I'm a Canadian, born and bred. We have our own way of doing things here.
I want to ask you about DRIPA. It's something that came up.
Well, let's say that there's a second half of that. Let's watch it tomorrow, where she's like, "Oh, typical CBC attacking a conservative," and I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, give it to them."
Exactly like this.
So we'll react to it tomorrow when we have more time. Let's do the chats and the cringe. We got one from iGrocket. $5, no rant, just some money.
Bro,
Well, thank you, good sir.
Love this for us.
Yes.
All of us together as a team. Thank you.
Let's watch Olivia Chow getting low with a local Toronto drag queen while celebrating the first day of Pride at the City Hall flag raising ceremony. Oh God. Okay.
Brace yourselves. Brace yourself.
Oh Lord above. Oh, no. The whole front row just saw everything.
Oh no.
Working. Olivia Chow always looks like she could use some Narcan.
Look, and he gets down to the bottom and he can't get up without like bracing his lumberjack knees. Oh wait, throw it back.
Gross. And Olivia Chow, ma'am, you're the mayor. The entire front row just saw your underpants.
Yes, ma'am. They did. Someone come get your nana. Look what your nana is doing on the street, you guys.
Stop it. She is the most embarrassing mayor in the country.
She does like a herky jerk. Like these two together.
Look at that. Like, look at just how huge that man is.
Brace your knees, sir. Brace your. Ugh. He grunted getting up.
Oh, for sure. He did the dad grunt where he's like, ugh.
That's why they play the music so loud. It's so that you can't hear the man grunt when he gets up. I mean, honest to God, this is so embarrassing. Come get your nana. Timu Yoko Ono needs you, okay? To come get your nana.
Gosh.
And you wonder why the world thinks Toronto is a joke. Well, here you go. Another pertinent example. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia. I expect many, many more examples of you embarrassing the good people of Toronto over the course of Pride season.
It's going to be amazing. We're not going to have a shortage of things to watch on this program. Canada, we remain thankful that you're here with us.
Great. Okay. Did iGrocket give us more money? Another one? $5, no rent, just money? Okay. No. Okay, that was a repeat. Politicians Ever Lie, $5.06. Rebel News #1. Thank you for continuing to speak the truth.
Thank you, buddy. You're welcome. It's our pleasure.
Great. Okay, let's wrap the show. I've got a hard out. Lise, ma'am, I'll see you tomorrow and maybe later on.
Yes, you will. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you will. I'll see you tomorrow, Canada. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Yes. Thanks, Olivia, and everybody who works behind the board, all of you who pitched in a little bit to keep the lights on here at Rebel News, and to those of you who do the very free thing, but immensely helpful thing of sharing and interacting with our content. It does help us. It serves us up to more people because the algorithms decide that people like our stuff when you are chatting on it and reacting to it. So we appreciate you for that. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's the Buffalo panel. I don't know who the panelists are, except for the two of us. It's a surprise to me and it's a surprise to everybody else. So we'll see you tomorrow. And as we say on the show here, if you find us offensive, maybe don't find us at all. Each year, independent journalists break the stories that matter most. They expose corruption, challenge powerful institutions, and report the stories legacy media too often ignore. Now it's time to recognize that work. I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. I'm the president of the Independent Press Gallery, and I'm inviting you to join us for the IPG Awards Luncheon on Sunday, August 30th, 2026, for an afternoon celebrating excellence in independent journalism from around the world. Held as part of the Democracy Fund's Student Journalism Conference, the IPG Awards shine a spotlight on fearless reporting in video, written, and investigative journalism. This isn't about giant, well-funded, taxpayer-subsidized corporate newsrooms. It's about the freelancers filing stories from their kitchen tables at midnight, the documentary filmmakers chasing truth with no safety net, the independent reporters keeping democracy alive one story at a time. And this year, there's more than just recognition on the line. Each category features cash prizes, including $1,000 for first place and $500 for second place. Submissions are open now, but the deadline to enter is May 25th. So don't wait until the last minute panic and coffee-fueled regret kicks in. If you're an independent journalist, editor, filmmaker, publisher, student journalist, or simply someone who believes in press freedom, this event is for you. The IPG Awards Luncheon takes place Sunday, August 30th at 12 at the Novotel North York in Toronto. Submit your work, apply to attend, or grab your tickets today. Find out more at independentpressgallery.com because independent journalism deserves its own stage.